We had gone from being les Anglais, the conquerors, the exploiters, the oppressors. Okay, that's what that phrase originally meant. We had gone from that to being les Anglophones. The Anglophones were now an immigrant group, just like all les autres immigrants. They weren't part of the main society. How come we found ourselves in this situation? And the answer was, as Kevin pointed out, we didn't have a history. We were a people without a history. Nobody had ever published a history of English-speaking Quebec. And so we kicked around this idea, and the first idea that came to us was, well, if someone was going to write a history of English-speaking Quebec, you would need to know the secondary sources that have already been done on English-speaking Quebec. And so I said, fine, that's something I'll do that. Michel Brunet, a University of Montreal historian on French Quebec, had a line in there where he said, a minority cannot blame the majority for not understanding it if the minority doesn't have the science, the knowledge, and the courage to define itself. And that was exactly what the philosophy that was behind these bibliographies. Where is the state of sort of English Quebec studies and the role of the bibliography in it? Well, there's the bibliography, obviously, that's one thing that's happened and continues to happen. There are two networking groups, the Eastern Townships Research Center and QUESCREN. There is a 32-year-old textbook that has never been followed up with. Okay, that's Ron's Forgotten Quebecers. There are 3 English universities in Quebec, not one of which teaches a course on English Quebec history. There was a hue and cry among certain elements of the English community when the Quebec government, Ministry of Education, came out with a new history program for schools, of which, of course, Anglophones, ethnic groups, Indigenous nations, all were not forgotten, but only came in sort of in those little, to explain French Quebec. So it was like sticking these square pegs into the round hole of French Quebec history. That's where we were. And people were complaining in the media and on in newspapers, on television, on radio about this problem. And I sort of laughed at myself because I was thinking again of Michel Brunet. A minority cannot blame the majority for not understanding it if the minority doesn't have the knowledge, the science, and the courage to define itself. And that's where we are. Thank you.